Hey, Formula One fans, this is Rory. You are in Paddock HQ, Paddock headquarters. I want to talk viewers and numbers. So, the Miami Grand Prix just got back from Miami. They drew 1.96 million views for the race event on Sunday. 1.96. Now, that's a respectable number. It's a good number. However, it is down. It took a hit from last year's ratings. Last year drew 2.6 million views. So the inaugural event in Miami had a really, really big number last year. There is room for improvement here in the United States. We'll see how we do with the Texas race and, of course, the Vegas race. Okay, 1.96 million views for the Miami Grand Prix. Now, it was a busy weekend. The Kentucky Derby was the most watched event, the most watched Derby in history. That was 14.8 million views, 14.8. And we also had the King's coronation. And the King's viewership was, I guess that was global. We have to draw a distinction between global and in the United States. No, actually, this was the United States viewers for the coronation of the King was 10.9 million views. Okay, 10.9 million. So, Miami Grand Prix, 1.96. The Kentucky Derby, 14.8 million, a big, big number for the Kentucky Derby. And I just want to draw some comparison numbers, right? So the Super Bowl, the most watched Super Bowl ever, in addition to the most watched Kentucky Derby ever, these sporting events continue to grow in viewership. I'll give you my opinion on that in a minute. But the Super Bowl drew 115 million views, the most watched Super Bowl ever. And what's interesting is Rihanna's halftime show, she actually outdrew the game. She drew, more people tuned in for the halftime show, 121 million, which was the most watched halftime show ever. So we got a lot going on with these sports and these viewership and these ratings. They just continue to increase. Now, here's some good news for the Formula One fans, because Formula One is, I believe, it's the fastest growing sport across social media. The first two races of the season, Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, drew globally, not US, globally, over 70 million views. Big, big numbers, big numbers. Over 70 million globally for the first two races of the season. Now, just by comparison, once more, nobody beats the World Cup. The World Cup is a global audience. Over 500 million people watched these matches. I don't know the final numbers for the last World Cup, but the one prior to that, it was over 500 million. 500 million people watched it. And during the match, at some point, over 1 billion people tuned in. So, I mean, there's 8 billion people on the planet. And you figure if you can get 1 out of every 8 people to actually tune in for a period of time to watch your event, then, you can't be beat. So the World Cup is the big one. It's one event, a major, major event. I'm curious to see what this last World Cup numbers come in globally. I haven't seen them anywhere yet. So if you know them, drop them in the comments for me. So that's kind of where we are. Those are some comparisons. I do think gambling is playing a big part. The sale of these teams, the big numbers, the money. Sports beats everything it goes up against on television in terms of ratings wise. It's just really, I guess, dominating culture at this point. So anyway, I hope that's interesting to you. This is Rory. We talk all things Formula One every single day. Miami Grand Prix, the viewer number was 1.96 for this year's race. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow.